847 in all of 2021. It's happening all over this.
Hi everybody, welcome back for another video. Today's video is a little different. We're going to talk a little bit about driving and safety. We've talked about it before from the inside view and what you might carry as your EDC, but there is a lot that we didn't talk about before. And I want to talk about some very specific examples and show you some things that you might want to try to avoid. This is scary, some of this footage. So let's talk about it and discuss. So our first example comes from here in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, what's your first response when you get bumped like this? You're going to do like this person. You're going to get out. You're going to want to look and see the damage, and that's the first mistake. They're relying on your natural reaction to get out of the car. Very quickly, these guys with rifles got out of the car behind and quickly just carjacked the car. And this was on a busy street in downtown Atlanta. And the cars going by, you know, may had a brief second or so of seeing that there was something going on. But for the most part, this happened so quickly, and it worked. It's a very effective strategy that these criminals have devised in order to get you out of your car while you're driving. Usually when you're driving, you don't think about these things. So what should you do in this situation? Let's talk about it and see what we can come up with. So with this kind of thing, you really just have to use your intuition. Sometimes it just doesn't smell right. Of course, this can happen in broad daylight, anywhere, anytime. But be smart. You know, if you feel comfortable to sit in your car, wait, call 911, wait for the police to come, do the police report. You don't have to get out of your car. It is just really important that we don't automatically assume that the other person has the same values and moral compass that we have. We're living in a world where the criminal does not care about your well-being. They just care about, you know, accomplishing their goal, and in many cases it's at any cost, and they're willing to do something really violent just to get your car. Doesn't make sense, but they can rob you, they can kidnap, there's lots of really bad things that can happen. If it's a very busy, high traffic area and you know the area and it's safe, you have to make a judgment call. But if it's at night and if it's in an area that you're not familiar with, or it's an area that you might want to educate yourself and know these are areas where carjackings are occurring and that is a high crime area, then you should be on high alert. If you're in unfamiliar city, unfamiliar area, be on high alert. Always just be aware that these bump and runs are a thing. It is really happening a lot, especially here in Atlanta. And it's a way to get you stopped, get you disoriented, get you, out of the car, and it's working. And so just be aware of these. Our next video is out of Philadelphia, and there's just a lot of bad stuff going on there, folks. You have to pump gas. That's the one place that you have to go and get out in your car and get out of your car and be in a very vulnerable situation. Pumping at a gas station. Let's talk about this a little bit. Very vulnerable situation. So pumping gas, we have to do it until we have an electric vehicle. One day we're going to have to be pumping gas. You have to get out of your car. You have to come here and open this up and deal with your credit card and your payment and get all that started. And you're supposed to do that while you keep your head on a swivel and understand everything that's going on around you. It's a very vulnerable situation. It's one of my pet peeves. I actually will plan when I get gas, make sure that I get it in a safe location. One of the ways that I do it is I get gas quite often when I go to Costco. There's an attendant there, there's cameras. It's a very, out of all the gas stations that you could go to, the Costco gas station is one that I highly recommend for safety. But know your city, know your neighborhood. Go in high traffic areas and safe areas. If you need gas, get gas during the daytime in your preferred location. Don't find that you're out late at night and you need to pump gas. Don't stop in convenience stores and go in and buy convenience items. These are a trap for you to get into trouble. The entire act of pumping gas is a very vulnerable situation. You've got your payment out, your car, make sure your car is locked at all times. It's locked when you're in the car, it's locked when you're outside the car. Keys in the pocket. When you're pumping, looking around. Don't pull out the cell phone and start looking at anything on the cell phone. Be aware at all times, folks. Other thing, and you saw in the video, do not ever park next to a white box truck. In a parking lot, if you ever pull up next to one of those, find another parking spot. If one pulls up next to you, move. Don't park next to one in a gas station. Don't park next to one in any parking lot. A lot of abductions of women happen. The doors open, they grab someone, pull them in. These kind of things do happen. I've seen enough videos to know that. So just be smart about your pumping gas. It takes a little planning and thought in advance. I know this is a routine, mundane thing, but the criminals are taking advantage of the fact that you consider this routine and mundane, and you generally consider it safe. Even during the middle of day, they're very emboldened these days. So that's an important thing to remember. Now, our final scenario, that's just sitting in your car and not paying attention. You see here, these two guys just walk right up, carjack. This guy did not fight back. He gave them the car. Other times it results in a fight and people, trying to defend their car. It's not worth it, folks. These two carjackings out of Philadelphia basically illustrate my point about not sitting in your car. I would recommend get to your location, get out of your car, get gone. When you get in your car, lock your doors, crank your engine, drive away. Do not just sit in your car for any reason. I believe you're a sitting duck. What are you doing? So what's the first thing I do when I get in the car? Shut the door, lock it. I'm ready to go. Crank the car, go. If you just want to sit here and get on your phone and be looking at your phone and not paying attention, you're extremely vulnerable. The person comes up to your glass. This glass does not protect you. A gunshot can go through the glass. The glass can be broken. These guys know how to get into your car quickly. It's not hard to break the glass and get in. And so you're sitting here, you may have the illusion of being protected by your vehicle, and it's sort of a false illusion. And I've had the counter argument made to me that, well, I have my 9mm sitting right by my side, and let's say best case scenario, you got it there and you're ready. Well, the reality is, yeah, you got it, but if you're not paying attention, unless you're paying attention and you see these people coming, and even then, in that situation, it's usually 2 or 3 guys that are going to come up. And from some of the videos I've seen, it's not just the 2 guys that go up to the car, but I don't know if you noticed on one of the earlier videos, there were 2 motorbikes going the opposite direction. Sometimes there are guys on motorbikes who are in the area who are also there in case they need to come in because there's a problem. These are team efforts. These guys are not stupid. They're lazy and they're criminals, but they're not stupid. They know how to rob you, and that's what they're out to do. Just having your firearm is a great thing to have, and I just show this as an example, but it is a vulnerable situation if you're surrounded. Most of the time they have one guy on one window, one guy on the other window. Even if you were able to get to your firearm in time, you've got two guns pointed at you. So a lot to consider about that. Just be careful in these transitional spaces. I've talked before about walking from your car to somewhere. You have to do that. But when you get in the car, never just think, oh, okay, I'm safe. I'm in here. I've even got my weapons and my tools are here. But if you're not paying attention, you're in a very vulnerable situation. I don't take that chance. And the other thing that I do is I just try to be smart about where I go. A lot of things in life, I always argue prevention is better than cure. It really comes to that when it comes to your self-awareness and your ability to find yourself in. You create your own luck. You put yourself in situations where you can have bad luck, or you can put yourself in situations where the odds are more in your favor. And so I try to keep the odds stacked in my favor by making good judgments and good decisions. And then if that one day comes that I have no other choice, but I've got to defend myself, I want to have my tools ready as well. So those are my words for this video. I hope that that's helpful. And I hope that it gets you to thinking about different scenarios in which carjackings occur, and in which muggings and violence and kidnappings and all the other bad things that happen around your car and your vehicle. Think about these things and take them to heart, and figure out your strategy. Everybody take care. We'll see you in the next one.